Lake here and welcome back to my channel. I live on the west coast of Australia with my hubby Greg and we homeschool our 4 kiddos. I have Will who's in grade 8, Em is in grade 4, Crew is in grade 2 and little Jackson is in pre-primary. And we have been homeschooling for 4 years here in the Lake House Homeschool. In today's video, I'm going to show you all of the curriculum that we are using to teach grade 2 here in the Lake House Homeschool. We have Crew, who is in grade 2 this year. He will be turning 7 this year. So when you are in grade 2 here in Western Australia, you are 7 or 8 years old if your birthday is in the second half of the year. So Crew's is 7, his birthday is in the first half of the year, and he's in grade 2. So enough of my chatting, let's get in and have a look at the curriculum that we are using for 2022 for teaching grade 2. So the main curriculum that we use here in the Lake House Homeschool is unit studies from Gather Round Homeschool. And so for term 1, we are doing a oceans unit study. We usually do about 4 unit studies a year, but I only purchase 1 unit study at a time. So I only have 1 to show you. So the first term we will be looking at oceans. And so we will do 3 more throughout the year, plus 2 mini unit studies. We do a Easter mini unit study and a Christmas mini unit study from Gather Round Homeschool as well. And I have done flip throughs of this oceans unit study and also of the Easter and the Christmas unit studies if you wanted to have a look at those. So anything I'm going to show you today or talk to you about, I will pop links in the description box down below and fly cards up the top of the video so that you can go and have a more in-depth look inside any curriculum that I show you that you are interested in. So we have the unit study. This is his notebook that goes along with that unit study. So as a family, we do the read aloud together. We'll watch videos about what we're learning about, and then he will complete notebooking pages in his little notebook here. Now, the unit studies do cover all of the learning areas except math, and I just add in my own math. And so it covers language arts, and this is a scope and sequence at the beginning, kind of looking at all of the things in this unit study they're going to cover. But basically this is an all-in-one thing. He has got writing, grammar, spelling, art, social studies and history, geography, science, and so you can see it goes over the page even here. All of the animals they're going to look at, scientific method, and this is the Bible, books of the Bible we're going to be looking at as well. So as you can see, it's really in depth. So each day he will do 4 to 5 pages in his notebook. So we've already started already, and so yeah, each day he'll kind of do 4 to 5 pages in this notebook. So that is his main curriculum. Now, Crew is actually still learning to read and write. He does have some learning difficulties, which is great that we're homeschooling because we can work at his pace. So even though he's in grade 2, he is still learning to read at the basics and learning to write. So we use this ready to read program that is also from Gather Round Homeschool, and I really love it. I highly recommend it. It is really working for Cruz. He enjoys using it, and he's achieving, and I'm so proud of him. And so I absolutely love this curriculum. So I have a teacher's guide. He, as I said, this is the Ready to Read program. He's on book 2. There are 4 books in the series, and we worked on book 1 last year, and we are on to book 2 this year, and he'll complete book 3 and book 4. And so this is the teacher's guide, and basically I will read aloud to him a lesson from the teacher's guide. Let me just grab a lesson to show you. Okay, for example, this is lesson 2. It's looking at peaceful ponds. And so this is a read aloud section for me. I'll read the information aloud for him. There is questions that I ask him based on what I have read. There's a Bible connection, and then he goes in and does pages in his notebooking page. Just works like the unit study that I showed you. He then has a student book. There's 2 student books per per kind of unit, just because they've split them in two, otherwise they would just be too thick to print out basically. But then he will work in his notebook, and there's usually about 4 pages I think per lesson. So let's have a look. This is lesson 1 there. This is looking at calendar work. There, and that's it. So it's easy enough to kind of fit this in with the unit study as well. Sometimes it looks like a lot of work for him to do, but it's easy enough to slip in with the other unit study. And these activities are great. He, as I said, it's really working well for him too. You could just do this as a stand-alone instead of adding in the unit study, because it does cover all of the learning areas as well. So let me just show you. It has a scope and sequence. It doesn't have a scope and sequence, but it covers everything in here. I think the scope and sequence is actually online, but it will cover obviously reading, writing, and some maths as well, but I do add in a maths curriculum, and it'll cover science, it'll cover art. So here you can see here it's got science, it's covered Bible, it's covered language arts, it's covered math, so math is included in this one. So for example, they're looking at calendar and addition to 10. It's got art, it's got social studies in here as well. So if I just was working with Cruz and I didn't have other children working on a unit study, I would just use this. But he does also do the unit study as well, because we're doing it as a family and he will join in on that. But you could just do this standalone. So that's the Ready to Read program, and I highly recommend it. We're really enjoying it. I also have these readers, which are from The Good and the Beautiful. I purchased this when we first started homeschooling, so I've had it for about 4 years, and I was able to purchase it. It's a reader. I was able to purchase it as a PDF download and just print it off myself. I have printed it in black and white, but you can print it in color. So this is just a reader that he can read on his own, just to boost his encouragement of more extra reading aloud. And so this is just really simple, and then it gets trickier and trickier as it goes on. And they have different levels with these as well. I think I've got a few different levels. So that's just a really great idea to add. I always add in to my children's unit studies like a novel or a book that they can read, so they will read themselves, or for the younger children, reading aloud is really important. And so Cruz will read aloud to me from this level K reader, which is from The Good and the Beautiful. I find that Cruz needs extra help with handwriting, so I have added in a handwriting book as well. So we just use Targeting Handwriting student books, and we use the New South Wales Foundation style. I chose that style because that's the style I like the most, and it just happened to be the style that my children were actually using at school before we started homeschooling. So I just thought for my older kids it was just easier to continue on. But the Targeting Handwriting books are really great, and they have one for each level, starting at foundation level through to grade 6, where they're doing, cursive writing. And I picked just mine up, I think, for $10. So these are great. So he will just do just a page a day added in with his work. They're really easy and they're quick to do, but he does need extra help with handwriting. So that's why I've added in this book. I also add in a Bible curriculum as well. The unit studies do have Bible work within them, but I like to have a separate Bible curriculum as well. We love learning about the Lord and faith and things like that, so that's why I've added in Bible. And we use this More Than Words Bible curriculum, which is by Rebecca Spooner, who is the creator of Gather Round Homeschool. So she created this first, and we really like this. We're actually using this last year, and we only got halfway through it, so we're going to finish it off this year. This is just the level 1 book. Again, I just purchased it as a PDF download and printed it myself at home and bound it. But this is a really great Bible curriculum. I really like this. I haven't done a flip through yet, so I will have to do one and give you a good look inside and how it's set out. It's easy just to do 1 page a day, and so it's kind of set out here to do, there's 4 pages within a week of looking at the topic, and so we just do do 1 page a day, and it will literally be really quick to do it, you know, if you do it each day, or I guess you could do all 4 days at once. It wouldn't take too long, but we like to do a little bit each day in the mornings before we start school, and we really like this Bible curriculum. My daughter is using it too, and Cruz is as well, so that's a really great one. For maths, we are using the Good and the Beautiful Math, and I really like this. We started using it last year. I thought I would give it a try. It is available as a free download, which is absolutely amazing. The Good and the Beautiful are so generous in a lot of their language arts, and their math is free. You can purchase copies, but they are free to download. So I downloaded it and just printed it off myself. This isn't the full, so he's on course book 1. It isn't the full book in here. I've only printed off half of it because it was too much to bind all in one, so I just kind of printed off the first section, but we are actually really liking that, and this has been really helpful for him. As I said, he is in grade 2, but he's a little bit behind where someone, you know, would normally sit. I hate saying that, but just to kind of explain the circumstances. But with the Good and the Beautiful, just remember that their levels don't correspond to school years. So even if it's level 1, it doesn't go to grade 1. Level 2 doesn't go to grade 2. They have like placement tests that you can take to work out what level your child will sit at. So make sure if you're going to grab this curriculum that you do the placement test, and so that you can put your child at the right level for where they are. But we are loving this, and it's really working so far. And we also do use Reading Eggs as well, and the Math Seeds program that Reading Eggs has as well. And Cruz really enjoys doing Math Seeds. He loves using the computer, and so it's great to kind of combine maths with a computer that he can play. He thinks he's kind of playing a game more than doing schoolwork. So Math Seeds and Reading Eggs is really helpful, and I use that particularly because we're a family of 4, and I do have to work one-on-one with children. And so while I'm working one-on-one with one child, Cruz can kind of hop on the computer and use Reading Eggs and Math Seeds on his own without me having to help. So that's really helpful. So we really like using that program as well. Because I use an American program, it's really important to remember to add in Australian studies to your homeschool. So for Australian history, I do add in extra to what he's doing. In our house, we use the History Now workbooks. I've talked about these lots on my channel, and these are available online, and I have done a review of these books and a flip through if you wanted a closer look. So I'll fly a card up the top of the video so that you can find that video and have a more in-depth look if you want. So these books are great because they are aligned with the Australian curriculum, and they're really easy to use. I kind of do these books because it kind of checks off, you know, that we have to do that, and this is just an easy way to do that, because as you see, we've got a lot of other wonderful work that we're working through. So, you know, going a little bit easy in one area is fine. So basically it's just we do a page a week. So this book will take us a whole year to do, and we just read this, and then he'll just answer the questions. If he's not up to writing the answers himself, I will write them for him. That's no big deal. And anything we come across that really does spark our interest, we'll just go online and look, or check out our books that we have at home to find out some more information as we are going. But these books are really good. See here, this page is looking at early European settlement, and it will also have Indigenous studies in here as well. So for example, this page here is evidence of early Aboriginal life. So these books are really, really great. And then I also picked up this book as well, which is Australian Geographic, The Story of Australia. This one is book 1, First Peoples through to 1805. And so this is just a book that I will read with him throughout the school year. So it just has some great pictures and information to look at. Won't do any activities to go along with this, but we'll definitely be reading it together and just talking through history and what happened in that time period. For health studies, we use this series of book called God's Design for Sex, and this is book 2 for ages 5 to 8, and this is talking about before I was born and basically how babies are made, how they come into the world. This is a series of books. I think they have book 1 through to book 5, and there's a book for each age group, and they are excellent. As you can see, they have won an award, and so we use these for all of our children. We will read this one-on-one with the children and have that conversation with them, and they can ask any questions. And so I've done flip throughs of these books, so I'll throw a card up the top so if you wanted to have a look at the other books in this series as well, but these are excellent. And when it comes to physical education or sport in our house, Cruz does do basketball, so I don't enroll him in any homeschool sports, but he does do basketball at our local basketball stadium. He also does school swimming lessons and swimming lessons in the summer, and then I just add in all those things that we normally do within our family. So we ride bikes, scooters, we go swimming at the beach, snorkeling, we've got a canoe, so he'll do some paddling, fishing, we go on bushwalks. We kind of list all of those things out that go with towards our kind of physical education part of the curriculum. And for art and technology, now art is included in the unit studies that we do, but I do a little bit of extra art here in the Lake House Homeschool because we love art. I do a lot of art myself, nothing professional, just tinker, but so the kids like to draw and paint and all those kind of things. So we use this book for my primary school children, which is called How to Teach Art from Children. It's an Evan Moor book, and we've been working on this for a few years now, and you know, definitely not something I would get done in a year, and we're just slowly working our way through these activities. So last year we were looking all at the colour wheel and shades of colour and contrast and things like that, and doing the colour wheel and then doing activities to go with that. So we will just continue to work through this book. And for technology this year, we are using Kiwi crates. I haven't used these in our homeschool yet, so my kids are super excited. These are very popular with homeschoolers, so you probably see them already, but these are great STEM activities or technology activities that you can order. So we have a subscription, so Cruz will end up getting 3 boxes, and they get delivered to our door each month, so he has an activity to do. So in this box, it's got everything that he needs to create this little mechanism, this little grabber here, and these cute little creatures as well. And so as I said, it comes with all the pieces that he is going to need to put that together. So these are really great for filling the role of, you know, the STEM or the STEAM, so your technologies area in your curriculum. So we're super excited to do our Kiwi crates this year.
Thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope that you found that content helpful. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave a comment in the comments box down below and I will get back to you with an answer. Also, anywhere that I can link any of the curriculum and things that I've shown you, I will do that, and I will pop those links in the comments box down below. And I'll also include a link to my Instagram account if you'd like to follow me over there, and I'll also pop some links to other videos as well that you might find helpful in your homeschooling journey. I've got a great video if you're a first-time homeschooler about you know, tips to survive your first year in homeschooling. I've got planning videos, I've got reporting videos, I've got a homeschool room tour, all of the fun stuff. So make sure you check out those links in the description box down below. Again, thanks for watching my video today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.